To start off with, I'm going to open up IronCAD. I have my drawing here with the dimensions that we're going to be using to create our cell phone holder. So let's get IronCAD open. We're selecting the one that says IronCAD 2018 x64. As IronCAD opens, I'm going to walk you through the basic procedures for creating this cell phone holder. A couple of things that you may want to make note of is if we look at the cell phone holder, we can see it's not comprised of very many lines. For example, we have a line here that we need to make in IronCAD. A line here, that would be 2. This line would be 3. This line here would be 4. Here's 5, 6. And then if you really wanted to get picky, we could count these little lines on the end, 7, 8, and 9. So in about 9 lines, we can have our cell phone holder essentially done. Let's see how it's loading here. Now that IronCAD is open, we're going to click on 3D Scene. And we're going to select Metric and Blue. Click OK. Once IronCAD opens up, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drag a block in. Drop it in the middle of our screen. I simply left-clicked on it, drag it over to the center, and let go of my left click. Now I'm going to left-click on it again, and it's going to turn yellow. When it turns yellow, you can right-click on one of these push pins, and just notice if you left-click too many times, it'll go past yellow to green, then it'll go to blue, and if you just keep left-clicking, eventually you'll get back to yellow. Now we're going to right-click on one of the push pins, and we're going to select Edit Size Box. This is allowing us to set the dimensions of our part. So our size box is going to be 95 millimeters in length, 75 millimeters in width, and 115 millimeters in height. We click OK. Now let's select the front face. So I click on front. And let's go ahead and fit scene. So I click on this magnifying glass. Now I'm going to left click down here, just in this blue area of our scene window. And we're going to go to the feature tab. Up here, we're going to select Extrude Wizard. And we're going to click on the center of this front surface. So we make sure we click on this green dot that appears. And we're going to select Remove Material. And we'll click on Finish. Now we're ready to start drawing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a 2-point line. So select 2-point line, you'll see it's gray. I'm going to press Alt-Tab, and that's going to bring me back to my dimensions. Note this dimension here that says 96, we're actually going to make it 95. Other than that, I believe all of the dimensions should be fine. So I'm going to left click on this green dot at the bottom right hand corner, and I'm going to drag without unclicking until I get to the green dot on the bottom left hand corner. So I went from the bottom right hand corner to the bottom left hand corner. Now I unclick that left click, and we have a line. The next line that we want to make, you'll notice, is at an angle of 64.440035 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and start drawing that line. So remember that number, 64.440035. I left click. I'm sorry, I right click here. This was a right click. So right click, and then when you come up here, you can let go of it, and we're going to adjust the slope to say 64.44035, and the length, let's see what the length was. For the length, we're going to do okay, we're going to do this distance 30 plus 2 plus 95.480725. So that would be 30 plus 95. That's fairly easy math to do in your head. That would be 125. Now let's add the 2 to it. So that'd be 127. Now we'll add the decimal, 127.480725. So 127.480725. And we'll click on enter or press OK. Click OK. And so we have the basic shape starting to take place. Let's go ahead and start making a couple other lines. The thickness for both of these is going to be 2 millimeters. So I'm going to right click right here. And I'm going to drag, making sure that green dashed line is present, showing that I'm at a 90-degree angle to my other line. We want it to be 2 millimeters. We'll click OK. And now I'm going to scroll my mouse button towards me so I can see this line a little bit better. And I am going to simply left click on that. I'm going to now scroll away from me so that I can come all the way down here. When you see that green dashed line, that's when you want to left click again. That shows that we have that 90-degree angle. Now we're going to zoom in here with our scroll button. I'm going to right click. I'm dragging up, letting go, and I'm entering a distance of 2 and click OK. Now I will simply left click right here once, and I will drag over to this point here. You can drag past as long as you have your green line or your tangent. If you can see the upside down T over at the corner where we started, that's what we're looking for, showing that we are at a 90-degree angle. So this T right here, this upside down T is what I was referring to, meaning that we're at a 90-degree angle from this line to this line. So now that we have our basic shape here, let's go ahead and trim off some of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that was just with the trim command there, and then I clicked on those line segments I wanted to trim off. We're going to do a 2-point line again. I am going to right click here and drag up this direction, making sure that I'm on my line. Then I let go, and we want to go a distance of 30, and that's because right here we have 30 millimeters. Notice we're going to be going 2 and 10 here next. So I click OK. We have our distance of 30. We're going to right click right here, and we're going to drag over, and we're going to let go, and we're going to give this a length of 10. Notice I made sure that I had my 90-degree angle. I click OK. I'm going to right click here, making sure I keep my 90-degree angle. There's my green line showing I have it. And I let go, and I do 2. I click OK. And now we can just left click right here and come back and left click right here. I will now be able to trim away this line. And let me zoom in just a little bit. Now let's do a fillet. So I'm going to click on fillet. I'm going to come and see what this radius should be. Looks like 3. You can see 3 here. This one is 7. So we'll do both of these. So I'm going to right click on that point, pull it this way We're going to enter 3 for our radius and click OK. Notice we have this line that is left here. Let's go ahead and delete that line. To delete that line in its entirety, click the selection tool down here on the status bar. Then come up to the line and select it and press the delete key on your keyboard. That got rid of our entire fillet. So we'll go ahead and put the fillet back in. We'll do the same thing. We just right click. Oh, maybe it's not going to let me now. Okay, it looks like maybe I'm having some issues with this not being snapped. So I'm just kind of playing with this to snap it to that point to see if I can use my fillet. Right click, there it is. And I want to go radius of 3. Okay. So I have my fillet there. I said this was a fillet of 7. So I right click, drag it out, let go, put in 7, click OK. And then we could do this fillet. I'm going to right click, drag it over. I can't remember, so I'll Alt Tab back to this screen. Looks like we have a radius of 1.9. So we'll enter that, 1.9, and press enter. Then let's come up here to the top and see what our radius is for these fillets. So I'm going to right click, pull down. I believe this one was 1. And let's try this one here. Yep, 1 and then 0.968. So we're going to come and enter 0.968 for the second one here. We click OK. And at this point, we can do our last radius here. This radius is 0.838. So we will right click here, bring it down and put in 0.838, enter. And now we're really very close to finishing this view. The next thing I'm going to do is trim out this bottom line. So we're going to just click on it. Bottom line disappears. Okay. Next, let's do by 3 points. So click on the by 3 point line. Click here. That's a left click there, and then a left click here. And then zoom so that you can see that when you move your mouse up to the top here, you're surrounding everything. We'll click there again, and we're going to now click on finish. And when we click on finish, you can see now I left clicked in this blue space, and I'm pressing the scroll button on my mouse to orbit this. But I'm going to come over here to my part, and I'm going to click on the plus sign in front of my part. Then I'm going to click on extrude, both left clicks. Now I'm going to grab this with a left click and drag it so that my entire cell phone holder appears. My part has been completely extruded. And there you can see it's as simple as that to get your basic shape of your cell phone holder completed. There will be more to come, but for right now, if you got to this point, great job. Make sure you angle. Let's angle it about like this. Take a screenshot, add it to your portfolio of work.